किसी को नहीं है।
Yes, there are a lot of things that we can do, and that is a pleasure to have the most known corporate being represented over here on the dais today. Having right from the manufacturing sector, MotoCorp, which is led, so I am from a generation, we kept on looking at Hero as an icon, sort of how India could move from, sort of being a net importer to a net exporter. And I think Hero was one of those first companies that became our heroes. Sort of it was there. We have Vodafone, which is a company that we started knowing as a company that came from outside India, but probably made India its home, and probably now across the globe it's known more as an Indian company than anything else. And that's where Vodafone brings to India, and it's a very, very interesting thing. It's also very interesting to have Infogain and the services sector, sort of represented over here. So, so the economy has moved. And this is also very, very reflective of Kashipur, and sort of privileged to have one of our alumni over here. A batch, which I can never forget for a very, very unique reason. So when I came to give my recruitment interview at IIM Kashipur, we were supposed to give a 15-minute talk to the students. And the expectation was that the first year students would be there, because the second year students would be on around their process of moving out. It was in late January or February when I was giving the talk on around the corner, just the exams were there. And I was astonished that some people from 2014-16 batch attended my talk, and there were really some difficult questions to answer. I think so from my recruitment interview, that was probably the most interesting and difficult part, because of which I remember Rahul's batch very distinctly. There was a guy called Aditya in that batch that I can never forget. He built me like more than the interviews I right? And I think, sort of that is what has given IIM Kashipur the reputation that we have today. I'd just like to take sort of 5 minutes to introduce Kashipur, the surroundings that we are there, because we come at a time which is sort of again a task. So the person who brought us out of food imports, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, recently passed away, and we are sitting at the cradle of his lab. Upanagar University is not 65 kilometers away. The place where we are sitting right now used to be Escorts Farm, one of the first investments, corporate investments into agriculture in India that had happened, and where the green revolution was at a corporate level was conceptualized and experimented, happened right where we are sitting right now. Right. So the growth story started not today, it started something around 60 years ago. And it's a pleasure to be in this place and see this town. When I came here in 2016 from Ahmedabad, which was at the pinnacle of growth at that time, there were a lot of questions being asked. Are you sure you want to move to Pakhale? Answers, the beauty Kashipur has been that today, if you ask me, I've got a piece of land and invested into this place, and I take pride in saying ultra-friendly stop. So I am now ultra-friendly. Because there's only one way that I see places like Kashipur, they can only grow. And grow at a pace which is so much that is whatever reason, minutes would have passed through Kashipur, probably that would have been the most unpleasant time of the journey. Not for any other reason, but for the reason that growth is happening at such a pace, that infrastructure and other facilities are finding a difficult task. So that's the opportunity scope of India that places like Kashipur and IIM Kashipur, represent. The significant growth that is about to happen, the destruction that is about to happen, because growth is probably not going to happen in the way it has happened before. And Kashipur is nothing but it's a living sort of exemplar of that. So sort of all my theories that I knew about economics were thrown away when I came over here. From economics of scale, I started discovering economics of scope, family business. Sort of about over here, there are more than 1,000 MSME firms over here. And sort of, I was looking for sustainability. I thought, maybe Kashipur, I'll have to start from scratch, only to find that Indian Advanced Limited is over here. They are the only manufacturers of sustainable ethylene glycol in the world. That's going to Kashipur. Then I met one guy from Bacardi. He told me that Bacardi National Quality Manager sits in Kashipur. Then I met somebody who was managing a railhead, and I discovered Apollo has a 400 CR infrastructure. And they discovered a model of railheads and how to discover business in Kashipur. The food business in Kashipur. I have been eating active popcorn since 2008, only to discover that one of the 5 locations where it is manufactured is Kashipur. All of us have eaten pizza. One of the few locations where pizza toppings are made in India is Kashipur. Kashipur is a location, which probably we can't be, we are waiting to discover a lot more that happens. It's been very much connected. And we have a lot of one of India's most known international women boxers comes from Kashipur. So there's much more to Kashipur than we have ever thought about. And I think it is this quaint little town that have a lot to be. And I think what we've been trying to do at Kashipur is we have 5 different programs, digital learning program, the MBA program, the MBA analytics, which are a residential program, executive MBA in analytics, which are executive MBA giving program, and the doctoral program, which forms the backbone of the institute. Each program we're trying to develop a differentiator. So in the MBA program, all our students, they have to compulsorily undergo an experiential learning component, which takes them into the field. So we transform the disadvantage of being in Kashipur, knowing the information that I just presented, into a position of advantage. And all our second year students across the second year, so we are the only institute which invests time and money on students in doing experiential learning. And on our budget, they are sent out to more than 60 different partners across the state. And they go out into the field and do projects. We are therefore being able to be part of something like 60-70 growth stories in the hinterland of Kashipur. We are working with exporters, we are working with small NGOs, we are working with entrepreneurs. We also have our Center for Excellence, the field of Foundation for Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development, the Design Incubation Center, and the Center for Excellence in Public Policy and Governance. We work very closely with them to anchor these programs. The MBA analytics has a unique dissertation component where we are looking at corporates to give us data. The students work on data-driven components which are practical oriented, and they're supposed to deliver a research piece through their dissertation to a guide and a committee that closely guides them. Which gives them hands-on experience of the task that they have to take up. We are in the executive MBA programs. We have also introduced the analytics program. Again, we have a dissertation and a capstone project. Which to build on the strengths that the candidates already have. In case they want to go to other, switch from one domain to another, how we navigate that. Then, in terms of the executive MBA program, again, we have an international partnership. We're giving them an international immersion. It is a unique blend. It's not a flipped classroom, but it's a blended learning program with the difference that we are doing. And for candidates, that you'll be lucky that we have candidates right from the hinterland and the manufacturing facilities at Roorkee and Haridwar to people at Hong Kong have been part of it. Which has its own difficulties in administration. Professor Ganguly is here. He's the one who will be taking the brunt of it. But so this is what we have been trying to do, and we put together something which we believe is starting to grow. It's just the initiation, but when it's initiation, we are also looking to consolidate. And to consolidate, probably we need a lot more of inputs. And I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you guys, and put it onto the table that these inputs are what we really see from you and the blessings from you. Very much.
So thank you for that very powerful introduction. With that, we will now start our Samanvaya. So we are like chapter of the annual HR conference, Samanvaya 2023, the first chapter of this academic year. Samanvaya focuses on filling the gap in terms of expectation gap between the industry and academia through an active discussion among the contemporary HR experts about the latest developments and trends that challenge the traditional paradigms of the human resource domain, thereby stimulating new and innovative ideas. So I, on behalf of the J Company of IIM Kashipur, am delighted to start with you today to introduce the topic of great significance, one that holds the key to our future and the evolution of humanity in the digital age. Our theme for this academic year is human renaissance, unleashing the power of automation, and the topic for today's panel discussion is automation revolution, unlocking the agile insights. In an era where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, automation has become a transformative force, reshaping industries, economies, and societies alike. It has enabled us to achieve feats once thought impossible, streamlining processes, enhancing efficiencies in ways we only could have dreamed of in the past. However, it has also given rise to pressing questions and concerns about the future of work, individuals, and societal well-being, and the very essence of what it is to be. So, without any further ado, I'd like to first introduce our guests for today's panel discussion. So we have with us Dr. Pradyumna Pandey. He is a seasoned professional with 30 years of experience and a remarkable career spanning over 3 decades, marked by his pivotal contribution in leading human resource functions across diverse industries. This expertise has been instrumental in organizations such as Mother Dairy Foods, Vegetable Production, Torrent Pharmaceuticals, and CBS. Dr. Pandey heads the Manufacturing Human Resource Department at MotoCorp, the renowned two-wheeler manufacturing giant. With a background enriched by multi-disciplinary experience, Pradyumna brings a wealth of knowledge and has proved his method at the highest status in his work area by ensuring effective management and development of MotoCorp's workforce. His experience and cross-sightedness have helped shape some of the most successful HR policies across organizations. I would like to invite Kumar sir to give him a token of thanks. Now, next we have with us Mr. Rajiv Naithani. He is a distinguished HR leader with 30 years of work experience and is renowned for spearheading organizations transformation through pioneering strategies. With the foundation of the tech industry, he champions the employee-first philosophy, emphasizing its role in enhancing customer satisfaction and bolstering stakeholder value. Rajiv served both extensive experience in range of areas, including cultural education, leadership development, mergers and acquisition, and advanced HR maturity. This visionary approach to human resources has undoubtedly left an incredible mark on the organizations he has served, propelling them toward excellence and sustainable growth. His work at Infogain is a testament to the value brought by his contribution as the Chief Feature Officer. We could request Professor Kunal to please hand over the movie. Mr. Rahul Pakhale. He is a distinguished professional with a background as an alumnus of both prestigious IIT and the esteemed IIM Kashipur. He stands as a testament to academic excellence and practical achievement. He has 7 years of work experience. Throughout his career, Mr. Pakhale has demonstrated his prowess in executing a multitude of impactful initiatives. His notable collaborations include successful associations with prominent companies such as 𝐺EO and 𝐿, where he has undoubtedly left a profound mark with his expertise and strategic insight. Mr. Pakhale's academic background and professional achievement reflect his commitment to driving growth and innovation with the organization he serves. We would like to invite Mr. Inclusiom to facilitate. Ms. Debalina, She is a highly accomplished human resource professional and a distinguished corporate leader. With an impressive track record spanning 15 years, she has amassed invaluable corporate experience in a spectrum of areas, including talent management, strategic talent management, employee engagement, and successful planning. As the general manager at Vodafone Idea Limited, her work reflects a continued commitment to excellence and leadership within the corporate world. Debalina ma'am's extensive expertise and dedication to human resources have undoubtedly played a key role in shaping the success and growth of the organization she has been part of. I would like to invite Professor Debalina to facilitate the now request Professor Rahul to facilitate Mridul Maheshwari ma'am.
A great honor.
Moderating the session today, we have a very own Professor Mridul Maheshwari, faculty at Infogain and HRM area of IIM Kashipur. She has more than 12 years of work experience in teaching and research. Her areas of interest are digitalization and HR, managing employee experiences and well-being, and diversity and inclusion at work. She has presented her research work at several national and international conferences and has published her work in international journals. Mridul ma'am will undoubtedly bring her wealth of knowledge and insights to facilitate an engaging and informative session, fostering valuable discussions and sharing her expertise with others in her field. I would like to now hand over the platform to Professor Mridul Maheshwari ma'am. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. So, how have you the morning? How many of you had it and how many of you skimmed it? And all of you who have studied from me, you would be knowing that's the starting question every day in 9:15 class I have asked you. So, how many of you skipped your breakfast today? Not done? No. So, that's a signal to MESCOM. They are not crazy for pav bhaji, still not crazy. So hopefully you will enjoy masala dosa tomorrow morning breakfast. Yes, promise? 100%? Nothing is more important in life than food. Okay, so relish. Okay, so I would see then the mix of first years and second years sitting here. Okay, just to give an idea to the panelists, few panelists here. So the first years, especially the ones who don't have an experience, they might be having some idea based on inputs received from seniors, right, the social media platform, but formally they have not been introduced to the world of people knowledge. What they have been introduced to is that why Tripti is different from Swapnil. So the basics of just micro OV has been introduced to them in the first year students. And the second year, of course, are veterans now entering in their term 5. So guys, the topic that has been given to us by the student body, thank you for choosing a very apt topic. Okay, it's about automation, and if I want to make it very simple, not really try to make it look very complicated, it's about what is automation and what is HR, or how is HR going to handle it, or how is HR handling it. Okay, why I have used the word going to in the beginning, because I very strongly believe that we have 4 different industries representation here with us. There is something known as a life cycle of an organization. All of you who have studied marketing, you must have been introduced to the product life cycle as a concept. The different products are at different stages. Similarly, whenever any change is happening in the larger industrial landscape or ecosystem. We cannot assume, and ideally we should not assume, that everything is meant for everyone. That means all organizations should accept the change in the same way. Or they should start gearing up or working in the direction of, oh my God, I could see that Sundar Pichai has announced this, and I might be a small Kashipur-based food processing industry. Oh, I want to compete with Sundar Pichai on those terms. No. What are we? We have created that setup to compete with Sundar Pichai or Jeff Bezos, or we are here to make money. We are here to serve the purpose. We are here to meet or accomplish the objective with which we do. So related to this only, the digitization, or for that matter, digitalization, which are two different things. Okay, if you talk to your grandparents, when they used to go to banks almost 4-5 decades back, okay, the bank and the customer interface used to be very different. Okay, all of you who have grandparents at home, whenever you get time to talk to them, you sit with them, ask them that whenever they believe any check was to be credited or any amount was to be debited, are they not really interested to see that getting imprinted in their passbook? What is going to give them a satisfaction कि account में पैसा आ गया? वो surety कैसे मिलती है उनको? When they are able to see it, the credit amount in the passbook. Okay, now compare it with yourself. Right? How many times you must have thought that let me go to the bank and get my passbook updated? Anyone? No? You feel a surety that where will my money go and it will come? So I remember when I was just in my first year of my PhD program at IIMA, that was the time when the first time I started using debit card to do shopping. And what used to happen was, it used to be a very rare incident that in one swipe, the transaction used to get completed, okay? And the customer executive there, whether we were going to any mall or any restaurant and using the debit card to make the payment, the person used to say, oh, the transaction has failed, let us try again, okay? But when the transaction used to fail, the amount used to get debited from your account, and there used to be so much of anxiety within us whether that money will come back or not. So I remember we, just like here, we used to have a bank branch inside IIM Ahmedabad campus. Okay, the next morning the first step used to be okay, and then they used to say it is going to come back in 7 to 8 days, and now it happens, the transaction failed today, but I am very relaxed and I am very sure it will come in. Sometimes I wanted also to check after 7 days or 8 days whether the amount has come or not. So this is how the bank as an industry, the banking as an industry has evolved. Similarly, different industries have followed their own life cycle. So this banking example that I have quoted, it's all about the change that first happened in digitization. What is digitalization? Digitalization, and then you must have heard, probably there is an elective also for second year students, something related to digital transformation also. Okay, are these the same things or they are different? Okay, this is the question that I want you to keep in your mind when the session is going to proceed, and think whether there are any questions which are coming to your mind which you would like to put to the esteemed panelists there. So if it is digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation, these are not really very new terms for HRs. Today, everybody is talking about, HR analytics, digital HR. I also talk so much. I'm right. The person also announced, okay, I'm finding it interesting to pursue my research on the interface of digitalization and HR. What are we really trying to do? Are we trying to do something very different? Not really. The senior HR fraternity is here. They would agree with me. Technology and HR interface goes almost 4 decades back. There used to be a concept like HRIS, which came long back in the HR industry, which was Human Resource Information System. Right? You have a course, something, it is MIS, right? It's a course. What is MIS all about? It's about streamlining your operational processes using technology. So originally, when technology was introduced in the domain of HR, it was focusing more on operational expense. That there is a payroll system that is being prepared where you're working in collaboration with the accounts department who are finalizing, but it is getting prepared by the HR team. Okay, how can we leverage technology so that it becomes streamlined? Okay, after the wave of HRIS came a new concept. Okay, at least in theory, we talk about it. It is known as EHRM, E-HRM. So what was it? It was electronic HR. So again, lot of new changes were happening. Now from HRIS to EHRM, the transition was moving slowly, that should technology be seen by HR fraternity only as a relevant thing for their operational activities, or we can do much more beyond the operation. So that was the time when from operational to strategic shift a little bit was seen. Now what is digitalization and digital transformation? It's where we are challenging the existing business models. Can there be a better way to do the same thing, which is not just focusing on efficiency only, but there is a larger mandate, that is effectiveness and a larger impact. Today, whatever we are referring to about, we use different terms about tech automation, technological revolution. It's more about the impact that we are creating. Okay, so I take this as a platform where rich experiences are going to come from the diverse industries where we have the representation here from, and also the different organizations with which all of these esteemed panelists have worked, where we have decided, we have chalked out a framework. Sorry, Platform team, we are not going to go with the difficult task that you have given to us. We want to make life simple for the audience sitting here and for us. So guys, what we have decided is we are going to bind this discussion in a framework. The first thing that we are going to do is, what is this automation all about? What is the meaning of automation for industry and specifically from the point of view of people? How organizations are seeing it. So we are going to use a capital C framework here for all of you to remember. We are going to focus on the context. How is the context, the landscape of HR changing? Okay, then from there, we are going to focus on how is the need, the composition of capabilities which are required, not only to make your business look good today, but also to make your business look sustainable and futuristic. So what is the impact of automation on the capability building process of organization, and how HR is seeing the contribution coming out of it? So what you should be keeping in your mind? It should be context, capabilities, and contribution. And we'll be more than happy if you are able to suggest something else, and which we are going to appreciate coming from you in the form of your questions. Make sense? It will be easy for you to remember. Okay, so thank you, all of you, and this is how we're going to proceed. So I would like all of you to just let these students know, based on what you see in your industry and the larger HR fraternity you are dealing with, the discussions and all, what is the impact? What is the meaning of automation for the business?
Good morning. Wonderful job by students introducing that. But I would like to introduce myself once again. I will start my introduction, and there's a reason why I'm talking about my introduction. See, I started my journey 30 years back with ACC, and I worked for ACC for 18 years. And there comes a point in your career where such a long period, people start talking about either incorporating to the process or is so good that organization is not taking it forward. I think the second one was correct for me, and I think it made me self-regulation. I left ACC as head of HR. I joined a company called MotoCorp. I was head of MotoCorp for 2 years. And in 2014, I joined 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐴 as head of HR and continued with 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐴 for 6 years. So normally I introduce myself saying that I'm solid with cement, sweet with sugar, old with 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐴 for 6 years. And people ask how you introduce the future steps after 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐴. And after running 6 years with 𝐀𝐧𝐬𝐴, I got help with my team. And I was with Torrent Pharma and probably one of the dairy companies. This is the recent case I have and been to you for the last 6 months, and people again asking how you design this cycle after 2 years. You will know on that. And idea of sharing this small belief, like this is my way of doing. This is the time for students to create their own school. Mine is very simple. I have just talked about the organized I have worked on. You need to talk about your passion. You need to talk about your interest in the society, your interest for the environment, your contribution for the society. So just leaving this point here that this is the right time for students to start creating their own story. People should know you for what you are. And second reason for talking about my story was just tell you that I am from a manufacturing background. 30 years in manufacturing. Pre-pandemic, I think this automation world were not in focus for us. Yes, HRIS, HRMIS, all those things were there, but not automation was not a focus area for me at least in manufacturing. But post-pandemic, I can clearly agree that automation, technology, it's not an option now. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. And therefore, I always talk to my leaders, I always talk to our line, say that you need to have a mindset that everything can be done. Not necessarily, I think it's not necessarily follow what others are doing, but what is required, we need to be carefully drafted. We need to focus upon what we need as an outline. See, you as millennials, for you to study, in your personal life, the way you interact with technology is something much beyond what we are in this done. Because once you go into the organization, it will keep with you. But the people, those earlier generations, change. And I always talk to HR leaders, I always talk to leadership team that at least for HR leaders, there will be change within. We will manage that change. You cannot leave technology in hand of technology. The human part is important when we talk about very important. Technology, and we have seen automation coming in all sort of automation in every process. When we talk about employee life cycle, employee experience, it's important because technology brings transparency in your all processes. There are transparency brings engagement. And the focus of that is finally the engagement, how we engage people in the organization, how we motivate them to work for the common goal. That becomes important. And that's why I say the automation is not just the technology that can be handled by the person. It's bigger than that. And leaders need to focus. Like I will give you a small example. Knowledge management, earlier it was taking was L&D was in providing it. Now it is something like creating knowledge in the organization. For creating knowledge in big collaboration in the organization. What we are doing to create the collaboration in the organization and going beyond automation, the human side of the collaboration in the organization. When people will collaborate, they will create the knowledge. When they will create knowledge, they will store the knowledge, and that is the knowledge. Your artificial intelligence, AI, your all new technology, they help people to store. Also to retain. So it is not part, but how to retain the knowledge, your need of knowledge, that becomes important. And once we retain, we have to disseminate all knowledge. And then when I say that technology helps with creating that knowledge management knowledge. This is not everything that's of your work will be you will be in technology, scalability of anything is technology. But my advice when you as a leader in the organization, technology is one thing, but the proximity of people, that is the first. Your proximity is the first part. You can't just say that I am awesome. Now people are talking talking to a magazine yesterday. They were talking about cordially. People have working from home for last 2 years. Now there is a need, people are asking whether they can come to office. They said we'll come to office. But we'll just spend 2 3 hours and working from home. We'll come for a coffee with our colleagues. We'll have specialize and to move ahead. So this is the new concept which are coming, which is this technologies. And now, if you are working from home, if you want to create any platform for followers, if you want to create something which is making it technology. So this is what I always think that as HR leader, my will always be that technology cannot be avoided. You need to use it as a tool for many things. Want to create a culture in the organization. Transparency is the most important thing to create trust. Technology is going to help you to create that transparency in the organization. You want to bring people together, technology is going to help you bring people together. So there is no end of use of technology, but very initiatives, you have to have that human angle present in your all initiatives. You cannot say that I have chatbots, they will. You can deliver many programs online, but you need mentors and guides to talk about the outcomes, their excitement towards the system, their excitement towards the learning. So, but you should put together what you have learned, how you are going to design it towards the common goal of. So this point I will stop, but technology is not an option, it's a necessity now, and we need to invest towards with the holistic view, and I always say that the human angle, the human as the proximity is the important.
Is okay. Telling partners to know the so I want to thank you for your interest in I really wonderful. I learned about all of this. And one thing that we are quite glad to be able to my name is Kumar. You have to take into consideration the version of the story. You can be found to speak for my career. See more so to the mental. And really, I don't think it's been many said that. And probably I will start my career in the war. Really great time. That time, and you understood the context of how I have been evolving from this to time, but it's perspective of the area. Then you look at any industry project. And I'm thinking to use context for that I try to take it more determined to thinking of managing focus. So when you look at the market across industries, I think only the income they look at manufacturing of management. They have increased the version of the rules in the online management. There are a lot of technology solutions divided overall manufacturing. If you look at you look at any rules you find that every user something will be demanding. And it's the kind of catalyst for what is technology. So that's kind of change that happened in technology. What changed in the last 3 years in particular is the acceleration of production and complexity of technology skills and solutions. Now, earlier, when we used to do the development of any software, so that we can use the technology and design a product and provide it to the student. So that changed. We're talking about the point which we're talking about in human element. There's an element of when we say design thinking. Even the entire the point of product life cycle for the development point to maintain. It also part of design thinking. Why design thinking is very important? Because we want to bring it to the central development. We are in. Our company, our people are also there will set a digital platform for engineering. The importance of this entire human-centered development is very important. Because at the end, when you develop a product, when you're looking at the end user to learn the experience, I will take an analogy here and just make more relatable. Imagine you go to a restaurant called A. There's a welcome, they serve you nice food. And you like the taste, and then you come out and surprising the reason. Now you go to the restaurant named Peak. They make you feel welcome and you go there. They make you feel valued or something. At the same time, there is always a similar taste that you can take. And the finding your pain. Differentiating is the experience. The feeling is that and exactly everything is the same by experience. The same thing is happening for any technology has a human center. Today, the design studios in the art and business are becoming much more important and pertinent before we even get into the development stage of the product. But that change which has happened at the same time, but also change the complexity of skills. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of in the advanced phase. The AM is becoming popular, the machine is becoming popular. All these factors have the AI, the AI and GAI, all that has been disrupted. Now, something like that is at the same time. The fear is, at the start of this time, if you go and tell our customer that with the help of GAI, you'll actually, and an idea which is kind of material, because this is something of very great. We will actually provide you 40 local efficiency on your product life cycle for design, unit testing, development, testing, etc. There will be a reducer billing rate or times. The overall estimation for 40%, so there's a cost that is 40% developers down. Now, what will you do? You can eat somebody else's business, but you will have a revenue loss in your own existing business. You will have a business, which is existing business. But the opportunity lies in existing business and giving business. And as we are the government changes also. These sort of changes are happening from this kind of all the technology. Now, when you look at it from internal context of the organization perspective, which is people, the basic HR has the theme. I actually put it in the 4 segments. Number 1 segment is another I saw it personally 2 decades back when I was corporate experience. So when I joined them, we didn't have automation so much. Attendance used to be used to find out in some of the offices professionals, not all. Some offices were modern, and real-time system working. But the attendance was not even centralized, controlled, monitored, administered. Now from there, and thankfully the entire let's see you, the background of the accelerator, you were very focused on bringing the on your national development. And also to benefit of the company, the people first or invite people to 𝐶𝐶 really reflected the way we thought about the organization and that. Now that was really I saw there. People automating the workflows. It was just the process also bringing the consistency and saying output and outcome from workflows. The second evolution which I saw was the evolution about efficiency and productivity. Now, why did we do automation? We did the automation because somebody who was looking at all the registers and monitoring the attendance was taking hours, working for endless hours. Now it doesn't need to do that. The person can download the report from the system and manage the time, which is everything. At the same time, productivity. So you much more outcome than impact. In fact, there was really there are systems which are made automated. For what these systems are very different, and forms which are adding on their screen, telling in notifications, and every sort of computer, so confusing, so not related. So experiential. Why would I? So I have Android as well as iOS. But first time I actually had iOS, I saw change in the experience. Today, most of the time, the apps which are available by the providers, including WhatsApp, for example. So experience oriented. The same happens with organization entity. The are we delivering experience for people while leveraging the right technology? The most important thing in that, in addition to the center, was empathy based. And I'll go back to Pradyumna's point where he was talking about the human touch. For example, in my previous company, we were a French product company, the purpose in India, the purpose is called the fund, because the independency. And most popular is the Rahul Gandhi, the file, jet team was done with the aviation. But I was part of the system which did spin out from this aviation in 1987 and became a product company. People who come from mechanical engineering background, they use their products like 𝐀𝐧𝐧𝐻𝐾, SolidWorks. These are the products. Now, in the context of I actually lost my thought when I came to the services. I was talking about human centered, empathy. Sorry, thank you. So empathy. Now, what happens is when in the student what we did for that was the example I want to give. We had this entire onboarding system. We were hiring candidates, and what happens is in technology industry, the time to hire is longer in India compared to qualified markets like US. Because our notice periods are around 2 to 3 months, and we even the selection of is more. Now, what is happening was what is driving force for bringing a candidate on board? You have to think about and on system. Because if you ask anybody, you should become honest and candid about your own reflection. If I ask you, which company would you join from campus? Probably you'll say you may have a need to associate with a brand because you perceive the quality of those who there and combination. You will not probably think about anything else. Largely, I won't say I don't know I don't know generalize this by one. There will be other factors. But the larger population, majority population, concentrated that. So we realize that as a people function, if we offer basis inspection process and meet the expectation, we are not creating any deficiency in the life cycle of the candidate. So let's leverage technology as well as the human point to create a differentiated experience. So that the person has additional things to feel about. At the end, what really happens is while we implement all these things, look at and take an impression and perspective about the situation, people, etc., it's not feeling crisis. What it does is more important. Does it make us feel excited? Does it make us feel happy? Does it make us feel disappointed, etc.? And that drives and that takes over. In movie, for example, we have today focus on the meetings today. We studying about coach myself. Also. So what is the feeling which is driving us? Even when we talk about engagement in place, what we say it's a reflection of cognitive satisfaction and emotional satisfaction. And largely it's of state, the reflection of emotions really made there. Now that dimension we want to really tap in this story. We think technology gives a seamless experience to the person, understanding what stage of sourcing the selection process the person is. But if we do not deliver in this case, there we have a problem. And the challenge is replication of human behavior or human process is very challenging to companies because you can't actually deliver the same experience as a person A as a recruiter who built the training. Very, very personal. When the recruiter is dealing with it. So how do you actually then correlate the two in a way that it becomes so seamless and integrated? Even when you're making a call to candidates and it's a workflow based thing, and the script is similar with the person who's talking to the candidate, you can still make that bring that consistency which is and of course there is personal orientation and all this behavior is also there. Now that's kind of the first stage of transformation I've seen from human centered and empathy. It's very important. The fourth is insights driven. As I speak to you, what we are doing in our organization, we're trying to leverage GAI. We also sell, to our customers. What we are saying, let's have a use case. Use cases to be presented to our customers because everybody is trying to understand how to leverage GAI in their work from our customers' point of view. So we're doing workshops with them. And one case like which we created from our own perspective is that as a global organization, if any of our employees wants to understand a leave balance or leave related perspective, Today, if I go back to automation workflow, the person will go to the system and see what's the lead balance available, how many leads the person available. But now here, what we have done is we have made it very easy intra process with GI data. And what the person will do is that write that, okay, I will be thinking in this month, I go for a vacation with my family, these are the dates, what is the suggestion? Now the system is giving the suggestion back to the input. Okay, that's a time when in your team, X percentage population looks to be on leave. And if you want to really see that with the combination of available leave balance with this intervening weekend and holidays, this could be a thing, that's changing is happening. So that kind of use case we have created in the site. Now the other thing where we are actually putting a lot of emphasis is leverage of Power BI. So what happens is when you look at the data is a good, it's what you're doing is something that's available manually. You made a workflow and you kill that manual intervention, the individual force an intervention of presenting data based on their right. But now there's a consistency, everybody sees the same information, but that is not there. Now Power BI is actually telling you the insights. Power BI is giving you some value. And that's so powerful to understand the kind of dashboard that we have come up with, leveraging the Power BI is very different. And since I've been talking to Kumar before I actually end now, one fundamental difference can everybody tell me between AI and 𝐾𝐽? With respect to the data. You want to say?
No.
You're allowed to?
Very good morning. So AI gets digitally artificial intelligence and generative artificial intelligence. The difference will be artificial intelligence, it processes something. And when we use GAI, it generates in response to that process and gives us some output.
Okay. So listen to what she's saying. AI will all present factual information to the. For example, suppose you have financial data sitting in our system, if you ask, okay, to understand what goals are profitability hospitals, it will provide you data independent. That's AI. But if you ask that looking at this year's market situation and coming forecast when the market has got saying why this will grow by 10%, the first is a past. What do you think that will be? AI will give you lots of that's fundamental difference. This is from a data insight.
Sorry, you would like
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited because my current organization is Vodafone IIM Kashipur Vodafone is company and IIM is very good company. So one company is that. So my current company Vodafone IIM has 5 values. And also the brand anniversary of 𝐶𝐶 and for 7th of September. We had also brand new brand called 𝐶𝐶. So we have rolled out those 5 values, which are basically speed, fast, bold, passion, and digital. So digital is one of our values, and we are very much a digital company, both for our customers as well as for our employees. So, starting from, if I want to start from, say, the talent acquisition or the hiring activity. So, there are 2 sources of acquiring applications, external and internal. So what will be the external sources of that? I'm talking about national and regional. What are the external sources? Can I give the previous one? External sources of resume. If we have a position in my organization, how do I source resume potential candidates? Any idea, anyone? Anyone? Ma'am, creating different social media platforms and also the HR platforms which are available, such as like IIM Jobs, Naithani, then LinkedIn. Absolutely. So different job portals available to LinkedIn, to IIM Jobs and Naithani. As well as consultants, we have consultants to identify the then also we have our own website. So these are all external and internal sources. We have employees or internal media, so they are applying for internal jobs. Suppose I am teacher, tomorrow I want to apply for daily location. So applying for an internal job which is published from daily location. I apply for that internally. So internally, I am a candidate for training and I am an employee for training. Okay? So there are external internal sources. So AI, I'm thinking exactly here, tracking system. We have incorporated that. We have multiple sources of training in your training. The AI is actual tracking system helping us to create talent which is relevant for that particular job. Suppose for that particular job requires 10 years of experience in HR, so like HR DP position in Delhi. Instead of trying to have maybe 5 years, 6 years, or 20 years, 30 years, AI is that will be done in such a way that it will not become in 10 years maximum level. We will only select those candidates and then it will send the hiring manager HR, right? So that's one way of that saves time. We don't need to screen all the 100 resumes. We will only screen the relevant 20 resumes which matches with the requirement for the position. So that is why AI is helping us to save time and make the process easy. Okay. And then after we source and select the resume, what do we need to do? What is the next process? You have got about pending potential candidates. You have to interview them. AI cannot interview, but AI can. But then human intervention is also required to understand if the candidate is actually fit for the culture or organization. So you have to schedule interviews with the interviewers, right? That is also being done by AI. We can just actually go for button. We can spend the calendar invitation for both the candidate and the interviewer of the candidate. After the interview is done, again, either through virtual platform or face-to-face, right? Virtual platform is again. So after the interview is done, the interviewer is reading out the assessment in that online platform. So we create a relevant spreadsheet of all the candidates and their assessment and their ranking, relative ranking. So it is again saving the time for us as well as making the process easy. And it is giving the same kind of experience to all the candidates. So we talk about candidate experience a lot of time, right? So it is the same experience to all the developments. Then after the candidate is selected, what click of a button, we are sending the offer letter, and those who are rejected, on the click of a button, we are sending the rejection or the for our licensing when it comes to hiring. Okay. So now, once the candidate, because in HR, AI is there in every part of the employee life cycle. So after we hire the candidate, what we do with them? We onboard the candidate. So induction, joining. So if the candidate is joining at my particular location, the induction has to happen with someone at my location. Induction process, calendar management, everything is done like that, right? Saving time and ensuring activity, right? Eliminating human error. Okay. Induction, onboarding, and everything is captured. There is no manual information. Think of a button, I can see if my retail team has joined on 7th or 10th of September. till today, what are the interventions, ongoing induction interventions have taken place for my video meeting. I can see that the click of a button in the beginning has happened there. Okay, so after the induction onboarding is done, what we do with the employee and people that also we have learning apps. So there are mandatory learnings like Vodafone, every organization has that. Performance management, we have balancing competencies. So all modules, we have digital gamified learning modules, which are available to all the candidates, and we have completed within 1 month of their journey. So just at a click of a button, we download the spreadsheet and we know who has completed it. And there's an assessment. Pass the assessment to get the certificate. Who has completed it, who has got passport, who has failed it, we have to take the test. So all these things digitally we can monitor. Okay, so after onboarding induction, after that, we have to do performance management, PMS, right? PMS. So what do we do in PMS? So any idea how the PMS process happens? What is PMS? So performance management system. So performance management system. So we have our own job descriptions, and from that we have our goal sheet. Goal sheet is the key performance indicators, KPIs and KRAs. There's a difference between key result area and key performance indicator. So we have everything defined and measured with my target, right? And this is about the performance target and that is your KPI. Apart from your KPI, we also have behaviors in our performance management system. Behaviors are the competencies. Like we have 6 competencies. Learning agility, curiosity, customer orientation, it's like we have 6 competencies. So your performance appraisal system is designed in such a way that I, as an employee, I'm filling out my performance appraisal online. Like I have these 5 goals. What is my achievement against these 5 goals? And these 5 behaviors I have to demonstrate on what, at what, and I have to write the specific story where I have demonstrated these behaviors. And this entire online document goes to my manager. My manager, he or she does online evaluation, but before that, he or she ensures a performance dialogue with me, right? But he has the entire online thing available. And then after the performance dialogue is done, he captures his rating of feedback online. And then it goes to my review manager, his manager, my manager's manager. And my manager's manager, he or she again captures everything online. So the entire performance, like my quarter 2 goal, target, achievement, and behaviors that have displayed at work, everything is available online. My manager's rating and comments are available online. My manager's manager, my review manager's comment rating available online. So what happened 2 years back, I can go back. Today I can go back and easily refer to my 2018 goal sheet and my assessment format. Also, my training needs are identified and captured in that same portal. And now after the performance management is done, we have skill gaps. So as I, as a HR, Cjief HR, what do we say? I have these skill gaps identified. And those skill gaps are now mapped to the learning portal. Debalina has a very nice learning portal called 𝐀𝐮𝐽. And those skill gaps goes to 𝐀𝐮𝐽 portal. And the AI-based app has already recommended a smart card, a learning path to me. Like Debalina, you have to develop the communication skill, interpersonal skill, and maybe networking skill. And AI-based software has already given me a learning path. Like these are the courses you have to take. Some courses are available in the form of e-learning. We have skills of based e-learning portal. Some are we have done tie up with different Coursera platforms. And we also have Jnanodaya campus in Mumbai, some classical learning session also takes place there. So entire thing is again captured online. Okay, so after the learning and development, all these things are done. Then comes your engaging your engagement, right? So one form of engagement is communication. So what form of communication we have? Have you all heard about town hall communication? All hands meet town hall. Yeah. So town hall is one communication where the business head, we are managing business here. So each business head will address the entire people in town hall. So the town hall is happening in Kolkata because business head of headquarters is in Kolkata. But the entire east people, I mean, the north east, Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, all the employees can see it, I mean, at the same time on workplace. Have you heard of workplace? How many of you use Facebook? All of you? Facebook? Mostly all of you. Workplace is the internal employee version of Facebook. The same as enterprise version of Facebook. So Facebook, we are going live. We go live on Facebook, we go live on workplace. The entire people, even people who are from other geographies like South India or North India, if they wish, they can also see this in this page Facebook. Town hall is live. So at the same time, they experience the entire employee base they are getting. So then in town hall we have reward and recognition. Not reward as well. Reward means tangible something. Recognition. The entire recognition is again total based. The manager, we have roster, which is the KPI based recognition, and we have team. Roster is more of individual recognition. Team is more of team recognition. We already have managers and it is approved by the functional head, nomination done in the portal. We just need to click the button, get the spreadsheet, copy paste in the PowerPoint, PPT, and so recognize the people at the time of terminal. So reward recognition completely on portal. Okay, so after that, what comes? Total rewards. How many of you know about total rewards? What is total reward? Compensation. You understand what compensation is? What benefit is? What is the difference between compensation and benefit in one? Compensation is significantly compensation is the cash from the salary. All the things for annuities and your parks and all those things are benefits. Maternity benefit, all those things are benefits, right? Insurance benefits, medical benefits, those are benefits. And it is in the cash, okay? And then of course total rewards also come your special value, maybe you are getting anything opportunities to get your ideas that you benefit, and that comes in the total reward. Okay, so that is also on online platform for us. What happened this year after the PMS meetings, we decide the increment, or you understand that increment, yearly increment, the employees get yearly increment. And that entire increment process was also digitally done. So who are the stakeholders in increment process? The manager's manager, and HR. Okay. So we as an employee, if I get X%, okay, that is being captured on, and the X% is also again decided by various factors to understand internal equation in the system. They become a talent and capability manager, and in the waste talent and capability manager, it will also get the same kind of compensation.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Do you have personalization component also in this total rewards?
Yeah.
Because recently I believe majority of them were working on a case study competition where the client organization, the case study designer, they were asking them to think of customization and personalization of
So
content.
personalization in the structure is there, the form. The personalization of total towards the content. It's very cumbersome. It's not easy, very easy to implement it. For example, when there's a personalization in the context of total award, it means I have 12 leads. For example, I'm just hypothetical number I'm getting. 12 leads. And I have a compensation of $100,000.
That can be
Now,
done.
So the example I'm giving the personalization to what is. So typical most of the companies have personalization with respect to flexible market distribution and even some of the components that's happening to many ways. The personalization presentation of total bonds was that I as a member have the option to actually revisit my total bond. This has an associated value for the company cost and company finance. For example, suppose I'm an employee with $100,000 and I have a PTU balance of 12. And what I'm saying is this year I'm taking only 5 PTU and the remaining 7 PTU costs goes to the account cash. That's the personalization. Or I may have help where companies paying tax amount to people. I say that okay, you reduce it, I'll get lesser benefits, but move that to my PTU remaining. That's the personalization.
Like 2 days back, Mahindra, if I'm recalling correctly, they announced a major a personalized package in maternity related thing. I believe it was getting circulated everywhere on social media. Is it Mahindra only?
Yeah.
Right? So they announced this flexi, this, that. They have 4 or 5 different combinations they have announced for women going to the maternity. So I think it's part of, again, individual wise customization. You choose what is working for you.
Right. So in the earlier organization, which was Reliance, so there we had 60% of the people who was the choice means I can choose my field. And if I want to make a driver and 15% that time it was part of the taxing company. So that part, so take so far as the gift cards. So I would say in that way, 50% of the people was a choice. So I use the component and accordingly it comes to 40%.
So if I connect this to a point, I believe Dr. Pandey raised about transparency. So I'm connecting that point. You mentioned that technology is acting as an instrument to bring in transparency. So now, of course, everybody knows what's happening, who's getting what compensation, but they don't. No, what I'm saying, it doesn't really come out formally.
People informally tell.
Yeah,
Indian people, they discuss their compensation. I've seen it with my wife. They will, so how it works is, she is not from HR. She comes from SAP perspective and she was an IBM when I saw her doing this. So when salary agreement happened, she received get a call from a colleague and he says, I got this money agreement, how much did you give me? She didn't give it. That's what happened. That's why.
If HR says it has to be confidential, right? But informally, everybody gets to know. So now she picked up a point of you were highlighting about internal equity in India. Okay, lot of customization is happening. More and more organizations are increasingly trying to restructure their total reward system and see that in any way can we go closer to our individual employees' requirement. But at the end of the day, the purpose is you should feel that you are getting what you want in the nutshell. So how is equity, transparency, formal no's, informal channels, how is the HR taking care of all this?
Flexibility is not so the component that we talked about and why there is an opportunity and chance to allocate it funds wherever he wants to use it, like fuel and maintenance, and he wants to buy a car on a company. So these are the kind of tools or events that he can choose for the tax saving purposes. So the total CTC that we have received and the tax liability that we have, he can reduce the tax liability component. So this is very good tool that HR is using to provide benefits tax to see good on taxes. 1 minute.
Can I respond to the question?
Yeah.
I think it's for I don't know the modules and that I want to take it. I'm interested in The question is not being perfectly right. One of the things is, it used to be proper, focused conversation, now it's like getting deep into the conversation and lastly, that is to do with inclusivity in the organization and also equity in the organization. Big model and when you started being part of it, there is still international competition spirit, not by any but by grades. And that I think that is inspired by Rajiv. What is the equity in the organization? Almost spread in the exam. And what is the strategy address them? The important line of option is, many people is based organization culture. You cannot actually start with technical composition every year. The model is that it's the indicator for performance. The population is some basic performance actually. What do you feel? When you start as a profession, the population should be the same, it's equity. So everybody who's going to organization A, coming with one pedigree, should be paid the same cost. But there are, it should be various other areas. Now, I may have come from the same one and now, but I take the different skill, which is high demand skill and business skill, and hence my position in the market will change often. By being paid, that's equity from that direction. You cannot have that people ask me or are coming by having an hour of education. There's a very important thing to perform. I think I perform. Or maybe I have a perform. It's not performing. What is happening? Because the impact is creating in the organization, and that's equity. Between everybody else, Pradyumna is also like performing. He and Rahul should be treated same, and we being an every performs. That's equity. That's how I see it.
So basically, suppose I am HR VP for Infogain, and my counterpart is the HR VP for law. Okay. So if my salary is 100, that should be, I think, it is I think median of that role. Okay. So HR VP as a role has a CVP range, mean median max. What does that mean, median max? Minimum median max. So HR VP is, if my salary is 100, and if it is as a median of that salary range, the other non-HR VP, suppose we are talking about internal equity. So the other HR VP, he or she is actually bottom percentile, maybe like 25th percentile or 50th percentile, and things. These are her salary at the bottom 25% of the people. One is the difference between percentile and percentage, right? So, 100 say, so median is 20%. So, 25% of the people in the organization are at the lower salary than lower one. So, based on the percentile, so if the person is at 20th percentile, I my goal as a HR is to bring him up to at least the median of the base. Median means 50% of over and 50% of each. So I have to bring him to at least 50. If someone is at a 98th percentile of my wage, so maybe each 90% people are there. So I am getting stagnant. Me as a HR VP is sitting at a 98th percentile of the salary. That means I have already got a very high ratio compared to the rest of my population. The same was better in the organization. So, abhi next increment my I will cross 100. I mean that's right. So next increment के बाद वो I am the highest performer, high performer. And income crossing that maximum band of that particular increment person.
Actually, this will be a vulnerable segment also for getting poached. There are no further tracks being created.
So what happens is you overage. From corporation perspective to one point, and it's very limiting to understand the equity. Equity part of the tasks. Somebody, one example which I was talking, is an example partner has demonstrated a protein to the next level. Which they are paying. Now, from an operation perspective, to the point, if the market was to be in an example, in the medium of the market, you have to get a medium of the market to be power or zero. Now, you want to during the engagement, this is performance, you may have different laws. You may say that you want to get the 0.75 in the volume of your like performance, you want to get 0.5 okay, but the person is aging. The power is going up, because the power is divided by the margin, median of that. Now, the person is never grow. Now, you do that as an organization, you have a problem, as an employer, the person has stopped growing, and the corporation is up. And this equity thing has to do that for multi-dimensional quality. It's unfair if we say that every business has to be paid amount. That's unfair. That's how I say that.
So, that will also,
Take it further.
yeah.
I want to add here, when we talk about stagnation at after certain point of time, this is where predictive analysis and IIM performance management comes in. A system can identify the skill gap which is required for an individual which will go to the next level. So if we know with good hand what are the skills that an individual required to go to the next hand, this stagnation will not happen. Because already system will tell that in order to grow, an individual has to go through certain amount of training in the system, right? So when individual is going through certain amount of training, is ready to take a decision. When you take a new role, then for the new the compa ratio and everything will be different. So this is how the adjustment process will take place, and this is how the stagnation part will be eliminated when we use AI performance management. Right. Yeah.
Let's give Rahul an opportunity.
So automation evaluation, when we talk about automation evaluation, I joined 7 years back at management meeting in life insurance organization. I heard from everywhere like HR support function. We are there to support the business that we are in right now. But
What was your view when you were in the campus?
when I was in the campus, we used to talk about HR is a good function. We used to tell ourselves that HR is a very good function, but we had thoughts back in the mind that we are going to support function. We have to make up my mind. But after being introduced, the AI revolution that has happened, we are talking about a lot with the data, right? So data revolution has happened. We are talking to stakeholders in terms of we are going to the stakeholders with the data, and we are presenting the solutions which were not able to present earlier, which we were not able to present earlier as an HR host. So we are creating a buy-in with the stakeholders, and we are playing a major role, more strategic role in the organization rather than just being a support function in the organization. So all the HR, people sitting here, don't worry about it, because the task that you're going to perform will grow and will change in the future. You will be playing a much more strategic role in the organization with the help of AI, because AI will be doing a lot of work for you. From resume screening, the AI can screen thousands of resumes in just a matter of hours. You don't need to do that. You don't need to go through Naukri.com and type in keywords and pull out resumes. These times are changing. And also, when Rajiv was talking about human touch and empathy, I believe, I have a flip side of it. I want to talk about the removal of unconscious bias from an individual. When an individual is looking at a CV, maybe he has some unconscious bias and he is not selecting the individual, even though he is skilled and right fit for the job. So I believe with the AI intervention, we can release this unconscious bias, and we can get the right set of candidates in the organization, which will eventually help build and grow the organization at large. So that is my take on how automation revolution and HR department is going in the future.
No, I think multiple discussions. We got Pandey. We have heard the contribution about AI is how it's helping in actually Debalina and the same for lifestyle influence in the class meeting doing those things, but it's the way thinking. Now point comes that you as profession. What competencies do you require to be such a child? The first thing let's talk about technological professions. In just knowing those technological tools is not that we can able to work on those. When we talk about artificial intelligence, what exactly it is, how it works, everything to the technological professions now. But as I said, that you need to be a change manager also, because when you work in an organization, there are a lot of things you do, but it's a journey. This automation is a journey. Every day something new is coming. You need to be the spokesperson of those technologies. You need to talk to people. Because more important is that you define the rationale behind any initiative in the organization. If you don't do that, you will fail to implement technology. People will not utilize it. You make them excited about what is next, then it becomes important. Definitely, data analytics is something which we always talk about. We should invest our time in getting that competence of data analytics. Everyone. I'm sure that IIM Kashipur might be teaching you on data analytics for sure, but there are a lot many ways of going beyond what is being taught here. Go to where to different mentorship, different programs, shorter programs. But data analytics is something which you cannot do work as a HR person going beyond. So data analytics is something which you need to be getting. And more important is again a small story I will tell, and then I will see there was a woodcutter, and his son learned the woodcutting skill from his father, and at the age of 15, he thought every generation is smarter than the earlier, and it is correct also. He said, why I have to continue with my father? I have my skill, let me go for a job. So he approached a timber merchant to the town, he got a job, but every job comes with a target. So when he was cut trees, first week he was able to cut 18 trees. Next week, that number of trees came down to 15, third week came down to 12, and he was different, and he was started thinking, I'm losing my friend. So now he go to say, he's doing that story, this is what is happening. Am I losing my friend? That what was the last time you have started your eyes? Point is, technology is something where you need to sharpen, you pay every day. You need to learn what is coming new, how it is going to impact the entire work system, how it is going to impact HR. So that is the message for kids. Be ready to sharpen your axe every day. Every day. Technology is something which is changing so fast. You need, if you want to be a spokesperson for technology, you need to know that what are the implications, what are the pros and cons of that. And you need to explain to employees. That becomes important because the fear of technology, to remove the fear of technology from the organization, is our responsibility as HR professionals, leaders. We need to talk about why technology. But if you don't know what is the technology, you can't talk about why technology. So then that is the message that please keep on doing. Every day you should think what I have learned new in the area of technology. That is how the happening. If you look capabilities, I'm sure change management, your data analytics, even you should know about cyber security now. You should know about data privacy now. You should read about it, what exactly it is. Because you are collecting data for and then working with AI to bring some results. So what are those data privacy rules? What implications they have? How we can give people confidence? Because once you collect data, you should tell them that why you are collecting data. They should know about it, and that's the way you can create trust in the organization. Trust creates engagement. Engagement creates productivity. That is the mantra.
Yeah. But very interesting thing that comes to my mind, all of them are funding management. So, we are interesting or exciting on managerial effectiveness, in technology, AI based. So, we have a HR chatbot called IIM. So, Aisha and we are using Lina.ai language. What is the managerial effectiveness? So HR chatbot is something. What is the means of HR chatbot? Any idea what? You all know what chatbot is? So HR chatbot we have named her Aisha, and हम लोग बोलते हैं Aisha से पूछो, Aisha से पूछो any policy related matter. I'm going for maternity leave, how many weeks leave I will get, I will finish. You have downloaded the app on your mobile and also it's available in the market. I just type maternity benefits, I should be setting the entire policy. Also, much are coming, feature the holiday will be what I will be sending whatever policy you want to know. You don't need to call your HR person and ask for it. Type app you download, type there, Aisha, then send the entire policy. So that has really our life is that we are not getting 100 phone calls. I have also been worked with other organizations like this chatbot was not there. And I know the frontline HR executives are getting flooded with 100, 200 phone calls. They literally cry that we are getting phone calls from field executives. Higher reimbursement का policy क्या है? Bike का allowance क्या है? These are real problems. My one executive, he or she is spending 4 hours, 5 hours on call just to explain the policy to 100 of people every day. Imagine the kind of repetitive work, and they are saying that I really myself, how can I 4, 5 hours I'm a call center executive. And Aisha has solved that problem for us. Don't call HR. Your first point of contact is IIM. You will get the policy. You get the eligibility. I was talking about managerial eligibility. So when CEO wanted to know the culture is built from the top. My leader is good, effective, and they're all managers as well as leaders, right? So he wanted to know that which particle has the highest score in managerial effectiveness. And we did a survey on 5 pillars of managers. Anyone who wants to quickly tell me, if you want to be a good manager, what are the 5 areas you need to do that? Yeah.
Problem solving, decision making, and studying.
Okay. Any other answer? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Number 3. Any other answer, please? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Any other answer? Very nice. Yeah. Right. So we have divided in 5 areas. All the answers are correct. One is communication. Manager has continuously communicate the goal, the target, as well as the continuous feedback to the employees. So one is communication is a very important one. Second is empathy, as we were saying, empathy and support. As a manager, I have to demonstrate that in my day-to-day behavior. How empathic am I to my, how much caring, you have people management at one side and result orientation at one side. Then they can want to read which you need in your classes. People have to process and if you are generating language. So empathy and support, how supporting am I as a manager? We have a lot of focus on diversity, and when diversity, we have a gender diversity, right? Focus on gender diversity. So equity and inclusion, once you are hiring diversity, gender diversity, lady candidates, how are you including them in the system? Some of you about hiring diversity candidates or including them. Equity and inclusion. And we have team building. So like this, we have career conversation, right? If you are having regular check-in with your team members. So these are the areas the manager has to do that. Coaching, mentoring, counseling, career conversation, right? So we have like this, we have total 21 skills, and those skills are clubbed into 5 competence areas, right? So and then through Linear of AI, that's the tool that we use. We floated a survey to all employees. We have 10,000 plus employees across India. To all employees. On some questions, some 67 questions were there, and based on that, at a click of a button, we have got scores of each and every manager of the organization. We had a mandate that we only want to have the scores for those managers who have minimum 4 or more employees, and the employees who have at least spent 6 months with the manager. If the my team member has joined last month, you should not eligible to participate in the survey. Minimum 6 months in the company, with the same manager. If it's a transfer case or something other, because in 1 2 months I cannot assistant manager because it goes in the system and the manager has to have minimum 4 reporting. Only then we will. You just think how members of the task if we have to pay manually in Excel sheet. Can you do it for 10,000 employees manually on an Excel sheet on all those 20 areas which are classified areas? All these criteria, filters, and you do it manually on an Excel sheet. So we use AI-based technology, and with the help of that AI-based technology, at the click of a button, we could roll out the content. At the click of a button, we could generate the spreadsheet showing each and every manager's scorecard against each parameter. And based on that, each manager has got his or her own report. The CEO of the organization has visibility of all the managers down the line. He or she can see the report function-wise, which function is doing best in terms of managerial effectiveness, which location is doing best in terms of managerial. The highest level person has visibility of all the reports down the line. Me as a HR have visibility of all the reports. I call people for one-on-one conversation, coaching, based on their report. Not only me, all the HR people are doing that. And based on that, we give them individual development plan that you are high in these areas, low in these areas. So all these things are possible. And also we give them training sessions, coaching sessions, and we are building management effectiveness. So all these things are possible and very easily because we have AI-based system which gives us result.
So there's one thought that's coming to my mind. You talked about how automation is changing the landscape. Okay. I request you, I want to pose a question, and with that, I wanted to see on the other side of the coin. Are there any dark shades of this revolution that which all of you as HR professionals are saying, which you believe could be shared to alert them, to give them an idea before we open the forum for questions?
I think we are not talking about mental wellness, visual health. All those the way technology has come in, the fine line of your work and life is fine line, and that is we are not able to create and space. So that pressure on people is creating worries all our how we can happen. That is why technology, AI, and also I think we have to talk about cybersecurity, database, the important topic because taking everything on our platform. But are we able to manage that? Still in India, we still don't talk about much about database. It will one day it will be a major subject for us to deal as professional as organization. That will be a major challenge where we are collecting data, but if it is being to some other further which is not intended for, it will face. The dark side for employees is yes, it's difficult to now maintain that work-life balance. Now people are working from home.
So you use the word mental well-being, impact on mental well-being. There is one related concept which I came across very recently, which I believe is an offering that we have received from TikTok. White quitting kind of concept. I don't know, I mean on social media it has become so popular. It says that when people realize अब नहीं बस नहीं किसको बोलेंगे नहीं but चुप क्यों करें? I mean we have all of us have grown up listening and reading so much about OCD, and suddenly I came across this thing quite quitting. I mean, how do you see?
I think some people, terms are really used in my mind. White quitting wasn't existing, and I think it's a personality. I had no personality, I'm very good. I'm very listening to my I mean, private pocket, managers, very useful. And so I know in my mind, so I get in that space And that's why it is important to look from organization standpoint that do we really encourage people? Now, all go back to basic fundamental great. Are we making over our time? Are we learning higher at the market? Can you speak the one? Going back to building more and it's all related. All the aspects. We're going to be in time. I'm going to build by feeling it again. Getting your education, it's not what I'm going to be. It's a different. It's an important point. Quite very good. I was thinking my giving back and perspective and secretary. So these concepts probably exist in my. I think I will build on the legislation you were asking. You can really like to be more about of mental state and then you talk about I think other aspects will be in my main problem aspect of technology is human intelligence. Everything human. That's one of the big things. I got about technology where there's to go from. So our workforce country population span is 90% of our workforce. Their workforce on each type of margin. So now imagine a situation where there's company in past years, and it's a case with technology companies will be very fast now. It's just stable. 60% of the population is doing nothing. Now for us, what is the sense of belonging to the emotion? Speaking of belonging, who would bring the line? Now, as an organization, I think we're reflecting on this point that my technologies can bring it to a mechanical process of team calls, who calls, then we just log into it, discuss tasks, then get out of it, and then get to another discussion and moving. It's all that happens. So very people can sense of belonging. And that's what line management will be very important. So I think sharing with them, I'm trying to help understand this project that we take from people, leadership. So that's one area of this.
It also depends what extent line manager is ready. And to what extent line manager is having the belongings.
No, I just want to see how your relationship with your manager and what kind of dynamics you share. It depends on how you will be seen when you start the conversation regarding to the. So most of the employees don't initiate the conversation at all. They start building and they start looking out for opportunities, and they won't start the conversation till the very end, till the very day when they're about to raise the resolution system, because of the dynamics that they share with the line manager. And there are other examples of such good managers where people can go up to them and talk to them about leaving the organization. They start the conversation here, but 99% of the time people do not start this conversation till the very end. That is why white quitting is something which is the term has been coined in such a manner because of the dynamics of the relationship with the manager and the employee.
Yeah. So very interesting. We are going to talk to solar manufacturing company. So there, I have seen one thing which I will also relate AI to this. Why do you think it happens? What is the term mean? Connectivity.
How many of you have heard this terms?
So, like how much I am aware about it, employees generally tend to, like, if the job requires 100% of contribution, employees tend to provide 50%, which will actually make the job just get done.
Just the tick mark.
Yeah, just the tick mark.
So nobody challenges you that you're not doing, but you're not trying to stretch yourself.
Right, and it was very prevalent during the COVID time in US as well, because people were moonlighting and 2 jobs were being done using white quitting. So,
one more thing is here, we have created a job satisfaction model where we know that the person can react in 4 different ways: active, passive, constructive, and destructive. And the person when he is active and destructive, he can do work. That's
Actively engaged, passively engaged, actively disengaged. Good answers. Yeah. So, if I am not satisfied, my heart and soul is not engaged with the organization, when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like going to the job anymore. I'm just doing the job because I want to earn money, but then money is also not giving that satisfaction. I have decided to quit, but I'm not saying it. I am quietly withdrawing myself, right? So, in my solar company that I used to work with, and the solar companies are very high companies, big energy companies and all. They had a division of AI, machine learning, and they hired experts from the industry, AI engineering experts. And we were working HR and those that functions together, working on early warning signals. Early warning signals. That means I have to identify those people who are somehow showing that signal that they want to be with the organization. So I need to identify those people and take measures proactively and not reactively. Once the employee has resigned, they have to retention discussion as a reactive measure. But proactively, identifying people who are showing that type of signal that was I'm on my way out. And so what we used to do, she had created an algorithm. There were 17 factors I remember. Like one is your class performance rating. Yeah, performance. If you are not a good performer, then or how many? If you are a very high performer, how many years you are working in the same role? Now working for 50 years in the same role, and I'm a very high performer. So he is very unstable. He will either change. Internally, have to give him a higher role or different role, or he will move out. So there are different factors. In my target, part is very high. You know how frequently you travel. How far is your home location from your job location? You know, if you are married or unmarried, if you are married, a lot of things are there. Your manager's feedback about you, we check manager everything. So there are 17, 18 factors, put together, and then we send those surveys to the employees, and that algorithm runs on the answer, and we get a ready, again AI-based system. We get a ready report like this people are showing are missing red. And then we tell the manager that see something is happening here, please take care. So the manager is alert from before. If we do everything, if he is a good performer, valuable performer, we do everything proactively to detail that, because in solar industry we had niche talents, and we can't used to pay them like we're talking about internal equity. There are external market benchmarking also, and if you want to attract a niche talent, you have to give the niche talent higher than the market salary, right? Then only the niche talent will come and join you. So we are attracting the niche talent, so much of money, paying so much of money, we are training them in the system, and we cannot afford to use the niche talent. So for those niche talent, we have to learn money with us, and we used to give it with AI. Yeah. I was just thinking, should we take a couple of questions?
My last one, then I have one more story in my mind.
Yeah, please.
Point being discussed, we normally get people are drivers and those who are motivated and satisfied. There are critics in the organization, those who are motivated and not satisfied. And we always see that every true driver is not getting the organization. We don't want everybody to be satisfied. Satisfied souls in the organization who always talk about a lot of things. There are people those who are satisfied or not motivated. They are the politics. They are the organization, not doing what is expected, not doing extra mile. So those are, there are always chances that you are motivated, but they are satisfied. motivated them, they can become the leaders. And the last category, there are people who are leaders who are also motivated. To end with small story, I think on this part of the student, can I talk probably go back to my experience and share what secretary has been me to okay. So there will be and probably lab there and we go for our team. So in this stage, they went to journaling. We saw that there was an arrow which was exactly hit on the target. The target was blue, but the red one was the good target. The team was impressed, but as they entered the jungle further, we saw that not many trees were having the arrow exactly on the target. And he was very impressed and he asked that the Senapati will go around and find out who is the person. This competence will need in our team, in our Sena. And the Senapati went around the village, came back with the young boy like Swapnil, and Swapnil was in front of came. He said, इन्होंने किसने किया है तो राजा patted his back saying that this is what we need and how you do it करते कैसे बने बस उनके तीन चलाता हूँ जहाँ आके लग जाता वहाँ से पेंट करना story there are two things that I want to communicate. One is about automation. You need to be very clear about your objectives. Why automation? It's not just obvious what others are doing. You set your objective very clear, then why you are looking for automation. That is the first message. Second message for automation. Option of critical error and then getting the target is out of your syllabus, out of your options. You need to create your vision today. Today you need to be sure that where I will be next 10 years. For that you need to work very clearly. Three things in my life I have learned. One is keep filing. Zero cost formula will help you always. It has helped me. Second is keep learning. Never stop reading books. Readers are leaders and leaders are readers. You should keep in mind. 1 hour, anything of your interest, you should read. Even after new part of course material, something of your interest. Reading habit means to be there. Otherwise, after a certain level, you not will not have focus. And third, definitely keep your positivity. You can't control the circumstances, but you can control your attitude towards the circumstances. This is what my message is. I wish all you the best for your future endeavors, your career. Connect with us. We see network is meant for you. This is an opportunity where you are getting connected with us. On LinkedIn, I have $50,000. I write every Monday something on LinkedIn. That's the way I develop myself. I read something, I write about something. So please keep investing in yourself. You should keep your better version of yourself every day. That is the message. And for automation, for sure, please be mindful that what is required for government, please take it forward. Not follow what others are doing. So,
Thank you. We can take a couple of questions. Somebody can assist with the mic. Take this. उसको भी ले जाएंगे.
Thanks so much for your invitation. My question is regarding that automatic application application system.
Right.
ATM. We are being seeing that several times there is a case that two people with the same profile and they are getting detected and accepted by the automatic system. So are we found that unconscious bias and the algorithm bias is ATM reading? And since we know that now we are in the world of leaders, so we want to put it on that leadership that we used to see in the world. But does this automation change was really necessary? And if yes, then there are certain strict improvements that are required to do that.
I think it has more than creating more for your point of what's the client. You're going to create that maybe let me take a step back and give you one process. I am that I teach you the position. I'm reading about the process. The post to you like to find internal availability. or what the guy really there is, they're actually giving you possible factors. In our context, we say anything which is 16% plus at least profile. Now, imagine for a moment that you did not find, and I didn't find any profile that you wanted. When I needed a expertise in a particular space, and that was why 60% matching the problem that we have to be from a customer needs. That has gone to the recruitment now. Now, recruitment is delivering an AI available in the market. Will actually generate lot of sourcing efforts. So somebody has to build directly to start company directly as a hiring manager. So that is the direction look at. So there may be some bit of bias which may play out. Sometimes people actually in the resume because they are much smarter than AI. They know that AI will actually get all those specialized fields and they will actually capture those respective of the data that experience. Now that profile comes to me. Now the recruitment is which I can deal with this problem. One of them I say that okay, I like to do an investment mode. Coming to the technology industry, my answer will be like that. So I'll do assessment, I'll actually put the whole thing better test. There will be 15 people. They have gone through the test. Actually, if anybody scores 16, I'll actually take it. That one way of eliminating the real, you want a high level. It would be very objective. Now, when you're interviewing them that way, the challenge would be this is sometimes what happens is on constant question by level. You would like to hear what you want to hear from the candidate. Not necessarily whether the candidate can, not everybody is perfect. I think the managers have, they're leading the hypothetical people who are walk 7, 8 times. These themselves cannot walk 7, 8 times. So that situation happens. You can't kill them. But at least you can eliminate that bias. And AI will actually help you eliminate that difference. I actually see it other way around.
One point I would like to add is AI is moving data accuracy, right? For data accuracy is not problem. AI is only a problem. If an employee is not a candidate getting rejected and profile getting accepted, these are certain things that might be inaccurate in the system. But we have to deal with it. But there are a lot of things that AI are doing which are never possible, and it is releasing our bandwidth as an HR to do more productive tasks which are more strategic in nature. Right, so these transaction activities and these errors we have to deal with, and there will be continuous improvement, right? So it's not that AI is perfect. We have to work on it and make the systems increase their accuracy and efficiency. So this is where something the future is tending towards more accuracy and the data-driven decisions that we make.
So, my question would be about AI as Naithani sir was saying. So, how would the simulation and prediction by GAI can be used for beneficial of the internal people management and their satisfaction? Like how their days had been for the past year, how they are satisfied with their compensation and also benefits.
I think so. See, you cannot completely rely on the solution but the other thing is actually using this understanding of that topic with a lot of data and you can have AI which is the enterprise level AI information. You have not designed and implemented you may have ChatGPT but AI available and you have to API connect that. What is the thing is it's totally not insights. They will give you a flexibility based on data. Maybe we're using much more more objective. In a sense that you will be able to look at the data, but at the end, the decision you take to understand the performance. To the point which Pradyumna was talking about, he said that look at the performance. No simple way. Something which is a person of presence, then not necessarily go to your multiple variables playing out in your mind. Now, for example, there is financial report. The market may be swaying down, or market is doing fine, so your company's performance has been below the market. But there are various factors. You cannot just driven based how the market responds. You have a structured problem. Maybe you have an optic problem. Maybe you have a certain problem. Maybe you have you need to look at the data and asking, so even leveraging AI requires a lot of interactive perspective in terms of finding out what are the different variables could be, verify you understand, and then make the reasoning basis. It is, you can't just leave it to AI and say that, okay, we just pick one of the simulations, it has presented and go with it. That's how I think.
We can take two more questions.
Good afternoon. Thank you for such a session and enriching us with the knowledge. So my question is that we all agree with the advantages we have with the involvement of automation in the business in the IIM industry. But what are the threats that we are exposed to with this increasing reliance on automation?
What Daksha is? Do you have anything specific? Because the discussion we had about darks, the dark side or the dark shades is somewhere related to that. Do you have any specific thought in your mind? Then maybe you can. कुछ पढ़ा है जिससे ये thought आया?
We talk about the mental well-being because the pressure of the mind and people and also space is diminishing. We talk about the data security part, we talk about the data privacy part, and the challenges that think about. But we are on artificial intelligence, it's all about collecting data and then analyzing it. But how you are utilizing data, how transparent you are in telling the member that this data has been collected and this is being used for this purpose. Are you not using it for beyond that what was intended for? All of these elements are those means. Talk about other countries, there are challenges when you ask for certain data, they need challenge why you are asking for it. You normally don't challenge it now. The time will come and we are economy is right, we are getting educated, we are getting more aware, right? The time will come, we also ask why this really only really start moving the business, we start asking those. We should be ready with that.
That's true. What you were saying, why not make it forward? So, we not ask people about when we can't ask them to form, are they going to provide the we cannot ask them about their health. We can't listen to them now. We can't ask them about the mental it's not related. So why it is not related to you, it's kind of build up like the cultural sensitivity also plays out. So when you are actually adopting technology, maybe that would link back to you. Are you being sensitive and aware about the different learning and also different quality? You are overall management, ensuring that the system does not teach everything, which is security, personal rights, surrounding talking about. And also at the end, we talk about in terms of human connect, let's not depend on that by having over the line on the technology. So these are some of the things we have.
Data security and information security data security as very important in our information is classified into secret, confidential, and we have to maintain while sending out it, we have to classify and make it intended for external, public or internal, or secret information. So in that way, it gets back. So that is one, area where you need to be maybe, so and apart from that, I will give you a telling of story. Like I was once and I'm teaching something, and I was not in the agency or that we will now group in India, and they stars with their manager, manager effectiveness survey type of a thing, and they say that the best manager. We will do the entire thing for you. They have their own set of questionnaire and manager questionnaire. They have they will administer the entire process for us, and that is like an AI based
You know, a lot of similar employee responsibility. And then we will give you the name of the best manager of the company. Okay. And then we will announce that name. We will feature that person in Forbes magazine. Okay. So then I was directly moving to CEO right from time. He said, what's up, CEO or training? लेकिन कुछ publish करने से पहले institution, but let us give a process at least. So we started with the process. First round of survey happened. Then the result came. Second round of survey happened. Third, the managers who were getting featured as the best managers, they had to fill up their own form or something. So 3-4 rounds happened. After that, they declared that this person, Mr. X, is the best manager of your organization. They are writing that the decision based on the IIM surveys that they have done. And the Mr. X, we will feature Mr. X in Forbes magazine. Then I said, please hold on. Let me check with my CEO. Other than I will be using. So then I checked with the CEO. He is not achievement started for last 6 months. If we feature him as the best manager, target achievement people AI technology challenge. They will only implement one particular way. And there are other sides of the code which one has to take a decision. So he was a very popular people manager. So he got the best people manager award, but he was not a staff result. And he was not the result in self-service. So obviously, we could not feature his name as the best manager because it will send a wrong indication to the people saying that people can have business and the company. So that is one thing.
Right. So the last one. Yeah, we have one. Okay. So what's your name? Arpita. Madhupita. So after Amrit, we'll take yours.
Hello, sir. I have a very different question, and I would request, if possible, each of the panelists to share their opinion. My question was that what's one unconventional strategy or approach you have utilized that has yielded positive results in an automated HR environment?
One unconventional strategy.
I'm not sure if even only one conventional. So, we were not very keen on the sales stakeholders. I was working with sales driven organization. So earlier, sales stakeholders were not very keen on something like HR with data and let's do data points of their business, what they are doing. So we were not very receptive of this idea that you want to discuss business with us and data and nothing with us. We are not very keen on. So we thought let's try one thing one time and we'll see how the outcome is. And see after the discussions that happened, this really yielded result that we have shown them gaps. There are the gap areas that we need to look at, and this has really moved their perspective in a positive direction. That we can have this kind of conversation in terms of data, the sales data that we have. This is where our performance, our data in the real time helps you to have a conversation with the sales stakeholders. I'm talking about from my point of view as a HR employee from BFS industry. This is one thing that I've done, which is yielded positive outcome from a different kind of approach.
Yeah, I think some with that. How about what we did was when you imagine any function, you always imagine it as a very back end. So there's a TMI driven function. What we started to do last 2 years, but after it's linked with the application for those who are sales course parallel based. saying what you are selling to customers, you try to, you try to there, what business you get in. And it's a bread and butter for the company, we say, you know, what skin are we selling? And what can you do to your product show for you? This is what they create a good area. If you really can help their product. And so on, I think when the disruption with technology is for audience. So we think it will that. This is where we got to learn that our Indian communities of different states, where do they stand? Versus what we are telling and where we are. When we started looking at our development now, we said there are two ways which you can actually make a food-based learning construct. We had a push-based. You know, we for this page that in a DNI for managers, then we'll say, why go to this, irrespective of the level of Instagram. So let's make it full-based. And it will have organization interest as well as employee interest. And in that point, we did for we said, we do actually hiring for deployment is a challenge because of people are like putting on a path and doing like that. So we need to hire, train, and employ. So that's a company. Right? So we hired people to go close to those things. And we saw the gap, kind of gap, where people needed more. And we kind of developed those things and then train those people and deploy. The second thing we did was, we said, who is starting point? We need to actually understand what will actually make them successful in the business. So we had this always nothing that we had based on that. What kind of learning is learning is the course that are maybe for the platforms. And we did that environment and research that. You actually decide anytime learning, anywhere learning at the time. So the classroom concept kind of works. Now, we are not doing anything about with people around it. It became anytime, anywhere kind of thing. Barring this webinar based learning and it to be available. So that I think has helped transition and transform the organization from a learning perspective and also from a capability. So we were able to ramp up some of the teams. So then we would have in the past just to impact the business outputs for them. That's kind of fun.
I have an example on what you can from the sales team, what we did, we tried to take automation definitely and use automation in the sense. First, from the sales team, we did the behavioral assessment. And we just got that every person has his own way of getting motivated. Somebody lost his compared with his colleague, he will get motivated. Somebody will talk about team performance. Somebody will compare himself with his own past performance. So the behavioral assessment was done from enhanced safety. And then the nudge going every morning say that hey, your last higher achievement was if he individually compares himself with himself, then it goes. If he is excited by the target achieved by colleagues, they will say these people have achieved. So that was done by one which was in artificial intelligence driven nudge going to safety based on what they get motivation out of. So everybody was getting different data of sales productivity sales targets. And that is how it helped to help because in a study we found out that not everything how great the people are. So what are you motivated with that you find out that behavior is in the knowledge?
I guess we can quickly take your question because two people raised their hand. Hello. Can Mike be?
That's not important. Thank you for the very session. And my question is, can you all share that one thing that makes you so patient or satisfied on the event?
Being in HR.
Being an HR.
Yeah.
That is fine. Who's anyone satisfied? He's gonna be
Right person.
Being in HR is a challenging job because there is no ready-made solution to your problems, your challenges. You face every day something new And that excites me, that makes me like kick till time. Every day you face somebody who will come in, you challenges, no problems, and you deal with people, dealing with emotions. That I'm happy being 32 years. I'm happily complete 32 to HR. The journalist HR also, I have not done anything like people are training development, but in our time it was journalist HR. We started from plant, I was for 12 years in the plant and moved to a corporate. I think I am satisfied because connecting with people gives me satisfaction. When I am with people, when I am getting clicked with a group of people, that is what I feel that is today. I am very much on social media. My LinkedIn followers are 30,000. I post every Monday one article. I am on Facebook. My son wrote one day that my dad has more connection than me on Facebook. Although the new generation has moved out of Facebook, I know nobody is on Facebook. They are on Insta, but I am also on Instagram. I because you partner like my handle. What I do, how I enjoy, how satisfied people. People benchmark me for my work-life balance. I am on Snapchat. I am on Twitter. Social media is something which you to utilize, create a perception of ourselves. That is how you create your space in a professional fraternity. People should know you because of your social media. And we make conscious effort to make that. I don't shy away posting things on Facebook. If I'm dancing, I put my dance. But second day I put an article saying that I dance with so you have to manage that perception. You be very clear. Don't spend much of time on social media, but spend quality time to make sure that you grow your networks and you create a perception about yourself. That will help when you want to professional dating.
The basic answer is few parts of the in the function to get to deal with non-binary things. For binary. Unlike binary organizations, for example, delivery organizations or delivery to the mind. HR, you're dealing with non-binary ways, perspectives, people, and people is the most complex. Even when we study human psychology, we learn that how complex this is. And that's the reason we say anything to do with human is not an applied science. While we try to make it, but the fact of the matter is not an applied science. Because the same formula, if you would have applied in text on the same situation, would not be the same as the point. Because various variables will play out, either related to culture or related to leadership or related to people, it's not a people. So that's one thing. In my own way, if I look at reflect on my question, I think I got satisfaction at different stages all in different markets. When I was growing, I used to feel satisfied if I was not many years. Because that used to give me a lot of initial part of my career. So, for example, when I started my career in HCM, I used to love my job. In the sense that I would go even on Saturdays and weekends. During those days, laptop was not be given to below certain level of education. So it used to be luxury. So what I would do, I would go to office, spend a lot of time work. And that used to give me a lot of satisfaction that I was learning fast. And that helped me because I grew faster. In HCL, I got double promotion with an executive being a system manager. And that journey actually continued in the same way. I have a fast pattern. I became in my late 20s. I became youngest HR head. Even when I joined Infogain, the youngest HR, youngest leader in the company. I was HR in my late 30s itself. So one is that learning context of the journey and always giving me a lot of kick in the job. Understanding that. Sometimes dealing with that non-binary thing, other than the positive part of it, dealing with people, understanding them, talking to them, and having a conversation which is counseling driven, coaching driven, empathetic driven. That's a different experience. It's a blessing because you are helping somebody, helping someone to deal with the situation. It's a big thing when you are in a giving mode. But at the same time, it's frustrating them. Because sometimes you may find people being unreasonable. People may have their personal interests. The important thing is your inner resiliency has to be high. It's like this, when we talk about in physics, a formula of stress, it's a pressure divided by resistance. Same thing is from a human being perspective. We deal with pressure situation all the time. But our inner resiliency We'll make sure that we deal with that and we remain very objective and it not affect our emotions. To his point, wearing a smile with the resilience will always help you deal with any conflicts. The third thing which gives me kick today, from a satisfaction perspective, is that people that CH today will bear and part of the board and we make strategic decisions. My role is less of HR on ground and stuff, more of looking at larger business sectors and associated things. That learning is made of it satisfaction because I never learned it. So your perspective also evolved, right? One of the things which Pradyumna was talking about, your aspirations should be practically done. I believe on 4 pillars of our existence: physical well-being, intellectual well-being, emotional well-being, and spiritual well-being. And I practice all of this. When I talk about physical well-being, I'm a yoga practitioner. Every day I do yoga, barring when I'm traveling, like I'm today. I do cycling. I've done difficult experience. There are those with annoying and back. Chandigarh to Solar and back. On a plane surface, 60 kilometers. So physical well-being is very important. It has an element of what you eat also, that's very important. Everybody has a right. Intellectual well-being means always remember that you need the curiosity of the child. You need to keep learning every time. The mantra I follow is I don't know. And that gives you a lot of hate and a lot of aspiration, learn about it. When a team member who the 20 years experience in my team, if that person comes to me and tells me something different, I actually ask him, how do you do it? Help me understand, teach me. But it is not about hierarchy, it is about learning. I learn from my daughters. I have 2 girls and I learn from them every time. They are the best teachers I've found in my journey. And of course, my wife. And I have not stopped my learning. Even now, I recently completed my master's program from University of Sussex in people and organization. If you look at my learning, you will see that I've been learning not for degrees. It actually helps me enhance my perspective. I always believe that what taught you is what you today, which means you will keep challenging yourself. Look at the mirror every time and ask yourself, are you ready for today? The answer may be yes. Then ask the second question, are you ready for tomorrow? And the answer would be maybe or no. And then you will be challenging yourself that why you can serve. What do you need to do differently? And emotional intelligence, emotional well-being is very important. If I ask you, can you let anybody manage you? All of you will say no. Now imagine a situation. You're walking on a street and there's enough space on your right side of the street because you're at the corner of the street. There's a guy who's driving and honking banding. What do you do? You look back, and if you're aggressive with that, you'll be there and can't you see it? And if you're super aggressive, you'll go and maybe open his door and give him a side slap or whatever, right? Why doing any of it? What you've proven is that you have let somebody else manage your emotions. That is the awareness of emotion. That's emotion. That's awareness of emotion. My journey of ontology was super helpful, and I was able to appreciate my condition. When I was doing my landmark education program, I called my wife from the session. During the break of the session, I said, I want to thank you and my mom because you managed 40-50% of my life. Having that gratitude is very important. Sometimes we don't realize that how courage do we need to really appreciate someone, but you don't know the impact it creates. Within yourself, it's like better, right? Anything which we express, you're experiencing it first. If you're extending gratitude to somebody, you're expressing that gratitude first. So it could be the case with and the spiritual well-being is another thing, not religious, it's more about understanding who we are beyond the body. When we call ourselves human beings, do we know what does it mean? We always do human being. We live in human being, whatever means every time we do something. Human being means that being at peace, being at health. That's a state. And you will achieve that state when you reflect internally, when you do meditation, and you remain mindful. That's where you experience being at peace and being at health. And that's the real spirituality. I've gone deeper every time when I went so deep into Brahma, that part of my spiritual journey, my parents, that my wife was so accepted to back. But I never let my interest of spirituality go on. Even now, I'm actually doing my program for the Yoga Satsang, which is why one of you would have heard about this book, an autobiography of a yogi, written by 𝐾𝐬𝐧𝐬𝐴. He was the compromiser. Before that, during pandemic, I actually studied by people sessions from another organization which is run by this and that they have granted in India. So these are the 4 pillars which I like. And linking it back with profession, any profession that is HR or any, when you live these 4 well-beings below, the line is all the ways and that's what I like to think.
Last point, I think we can talk about gratitude and again, I will bring technology and not the name. A point which I want to make is that parents are living for technology helps you connect with your every day. Even video call every day and 9 o'clock, it's every time. In video call every day to your parents. I mean, here the real technology, real automation people, you can talk to them. Make it a habit. I do it at this age. Every day, 9 o'clock, I talk to my parents. And you should take for the gratitude part because they are behind your success. You being here. Without pay, one video call every day at a fixed time, then will make it. Tell your mother that what you studied in class. Maybe you might not understand what you are talking about, but you will feel good that so that even today, if I go back at 9 o'clock, I will talk about what I have talked here to my students. My mother will not understand it.
And he does it every day night. We might find yesterday when we were doing it.
No, I just want to share a backstory when I was in Kashipur. When I joined in the first year, I was very sure that I wanted to do finance. Right? I never wanted to do HR. I never even gave a thought that I wanted to do in HR. Then I met Abhiraj Pandey, and then I met Rakesh Agarwal. Rakesh Agarwal said there's also an IT company alumni. I spent a lot of time talking to both of these businesses. And then I got interested in doing my HR subjects. I was very good at it. In first year also we had good number of HR subjects in the first year. So I did most of them, I did very good. So I decided, why not give it a try? And then I started talking to the professors and I got up and started taking more of HR subjects in my second year. And I eventually did my majors in HR. And since then, I do not regret at all that I've chosen my major as HR. Because this is one department or one function in any organization that helps you grow as a person, not a personal. What I want to say is it helps you grow personally. Professionally, you grow, but it helps you grow personally as well. No other department or function will help you, develop skills that are communication skills or maybe life skills. They will not teach any other skills. But human resources department is one function which will help you, achieve your personal goals and career life. So I would like to thank both the professors who helped me achieve this task that feat that I've achieved. So thank you.
So I believe we can bring it to a closure. So if I'm recalling correctly, probably this is going to be my 6th or 7th Samanvaya. So originally we used to have a different umbrella tag to it, coalescence, to organize it in our own campus. Sir has visited our own campus. So one thing I will tell you, this is the panel where I have not really seen any kind of snobbishness coming. So it's a very humble group that I have seen here in Samanvaya. And the most important thing is that I believe most of the expressions, the thoughts that we have shared, we have all four of you have been able to, make these students, the budding managers, understand the connect of what you are doing, what you are seeing, witnessing at your place of work. With your life, I mean, how it is connected. It's not that something very superficially, okay, we are doing this, but we are doing it. So I believe that's a very strong message going in there, and what we are doing is truly getting reflected in who we are. You talked about personality and persona a couple of times. I believe that's something that makes HR professionals very different. You cannot, I mean, everybody talks about walk the talk kind of thing. You cannot be doing something, we are doing layoffs, we are doing this, that, but at that point of time, in the canteen, our language, the body language is very important. Because we are dealing with humans, any decision that we are taking is related to humans. So any tough decision also is going to leave a very big impact on our heart and our mind. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you for coming all the way to Kashipur, and we see a long day to go ahead together. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, on behalf of all of us, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to our panelists and moderator for their time, expertise, and dedication. Your contribution has enriched our understanding of various influences that automation has had on HRM from the inception of HRIS to generative AI, digitalization versus digital transformation of people, and inspired us to explore new horizons. Your willingness to engage with us and break down complex ideas has been invaluable. You have expanded our knowledge and inspired us to think critically and explore new avenues of learning. Your impact is profound and we are truly grateful. Thank you for being here with us. Now, I would request Professor Naithani to present a token of thanks to Dr. Pradyumna. Sir, I would request Rahul to present the token of thanks to Mr. Rajiv. Sir, I would request Professor Rahul to present the token of thanks to Ms. Debalina. Now I will request Professor Kumar, Chairperson Placement, to present the token of thanks to Mr. Rahul Kumar Pakhale. Now I will request Professor Kumar.
Sir, you know. Thank you. Thank you. I'm part of the team. No. Sir, you know that. Like, I'm part of the team. I'm not. And you guys made good. Ganguly sir, give me. I mean, I was really. Thank you.